Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to make a short list video for you. As you know, I recently became unemployed from the credit union I used to be employed through. So this means I am no longer public facing, which is great in a lot of ways, but also I will miss working with the public when you get down to it. So today's video is just covering 10 annoying things that most of the public would say to me, and this is from a really nitpicky, I care too much about spoken word kind of angle, so just take that with a grain of salt. Also, these are in no particular order except one just trumps the rest, so no order. The use of usually always or usually never, that one's actually funnier to me than it is annoying. Every time someone says it, I just think they're basically saying 60% of the time it works every time. That's how it comes across. Saying a maybe definite, definitely maybe. The word irregardless is not a word. It just isn't. That's a double negative in one word. It's not a word. Regardless is good enough. Learning to use words like drunk properly. Something I feel like people are taught and then they just forget because they think it just sounds goofy. But to people that know better, you sound goofy. You sound kind of dumb just saying you drank everything. You have drank so much today. Words that people like to add syllables to, like decathlon and realtor. Decathlon? Realtor? So you're just adding them because you think it sounds flowier. The one that bothers me the most there, it's adding a syllable and it's transposing a whole syllable. Jewelry. Out of the root word jewel, as most jewelry has, is not jewelry. Like most of you say, jewelry. You sound ridiculous. The ES, espresso, escape, especially, doesn't sound any better or smoother when it becomes EX. Especially sounds really especially stupid. Escaping from things. I had an English professor at this university that in the first day of her class used words that way. So I didn't take her class. Supposedly is a word, but you're using it wrong. You mean to say supposedly, and you're not. Supposedly means that something is feasible. It's supposable. Picture and picture. Wanting to take someone's picture. Every time someone says that, you know that those are two completely different things, right? Like, it's not just a laziness, those are two different words. And then there are words that I feel like people say wrong because it sounds like the thing that they think it means. Voluptuous is not voluptuous. I feel like people remember it that way because they're talking about lumps when they say it. Also, I found out recently that a lot of people think it's ulterior motive instead of ulterior. And I think that's because people think of like alternate or alternative motive, easier to remember, but it's wrong, so it's not actually helping you at all. This one is kind of just like an honorable mention, but it's on the list anyway. Having grown up in southern Utah, there is an accent here. It's pretty subtle and really unfortunate, but people drop the T's in a lot of their words here. So instead of going up onto the mountain to go hunting, they go up on the mountain to go hunting. And it just sounds so hillbilly, and it's everyone here. Ugh. And the number one that takes the cake above everything else is the misuse of the word literally. And I understand before you jump on this that it is now correct to use it incorrectly. So many people were so dumb for so long that they had an alternate meaning to the one word that can't have an alternate meaning by any degree. Basically all the bigwigs were just like, well, we can't admit that everyone is this stupid, so instead we're just going to change the meaning of the most solid word ever created. I had a coworker who, one of our members, the member I was helping at my window, asked my coworker, "How have you been lately?" And she responded, "Today I'm literally pooped." So the member and I laughed at her extensively. Like, the member laughed out the door at her. And after the member had finally left, she asked me, hands on her hips, "What is so funny about that?" And I had to ask her, when you say you're literally pooped, do you mean that you shat yourself? Like you've soiled yourself? Or do you mean that you like fell out of your mother's anus today? Like, what does literally pooped mean to you? And instead of trying to understand how wrong she was in that, it was just, "You were so weird," and then walked away. So I understand that these things are nitpicky and that like I'm the minority in these things, but it's something I'll so miss about working with the public. As always, let me know how you felt about the video. Thank you so much for your time.